many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, darling, you were meant to survive. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. Just like a seed in a garden, you will grow to be tall, staring out over miles of land without it, but wanting to build up walls. Lift me up in your branches, we can watch the sunrise. Just a couple of bruised up souls that believe that it was worth one more try. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart and spend less time in your head. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, darling, you were meant to survive. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. Just like a seed in a garden, you will grow to be tall, staring out over miles of land without it, but wanting to build up walls. Lift me up in your branches, we can watch the sunrise. Just a couple of bruised up souls that believe that it was worth one more try. With many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, but darling, you were meant to survive. With every start,
This is the Tipp Topp Podcast, the TIPPTOPP podcast, hosted by myself, Keaton Ditchfield, and we talk about everything to do with the outdoors. That's fishing, camping, hunting, birds, wildlife, conservation, and a whole lot more. This podcast is as raw, untamed, unedited, and unapologetic as nature. So buckle up. This is the Tipp Topp Podcast. So buckle up. This is the Tipp Topp Podcast. And we are live. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome to the Tipp Topp Podcast. How lekker. I'm so excited to have you guys. Today we have got Sean Tucker, Eugene Kruger, and Alex Willis. These guys are epic carp anglers, brand ambassadors for Karpioene. I've been corrected on how I say it because I said Karpioene. And thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having us.
So, guys, tell us, what is Karpioene? Karpioene, forgive me.
So, Karpioene, dude, it's actually a lifestyle, just a South African lifestyle brand. Give us 2 6. Sorry, there we go. All right, we sorted. Forgot his
Technical
YouTube.
issues.
The YouTube was
Okay, he's watching himself there.
cool. So Karpioene brew in essence is all about South African carp fishing. That's what it is. It's a lifestyle brand. It's about being lekker, just enjoying yourself on the water side and catching carp. That's what we love to do. And
And
it basically
the name itself.
Say again.
And the name itself. What made you guys choose Karpioene?
Well, we were actually a group of 4 mates. Dylan and Brandon were with Eugene and I. Alex joined at a later stage. And I think Dylan and Brandon actually came up with Champion and Carp, and we made Karpioene. And
I remember the one morning Dylan, well, it was actually more than one morning when you woke up and you hear Dylan screaming, "Hey, Karpioene, wake up," or, something like that. So that's how the name came about. So it's all dull there.
Oh, that's pretty fun. That's one way to wake up in the morning. It's either screaming reel or, "Hey, champion carp dude, Karpioene." Love it. So you guys, Karpioene is a brand, and you guys, what you mainly sell, it's a carp clothing brand. Am I right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so we do. You know what? We saw a need in the South African market. We always look at European anglers wearing all these cool carpy clothes, and it's very difficult to get hold of that. So we thought let's just make some cool carpy clothes for South African carp anglers, and that's just basically stuff that we could wear and we wanted to wear on the bank, and that's how the clothing came about.
Okay.
then,
So
obviously we also make the content online. We make the videos and so on, the articles, venue reviews.
okay, nice. Yeah, so the guys are actually looking at the website right now. So the website is carpioene.com, hey?
Yes,
Yes.
that's it. It's the one
I've
you
been
look
looking
at.
Yeah.
I've been checking out your brands and stuff, and so today we are giving away 3 caps, which is quite exciting. We are giving away 3 caps thanks to you guys. I'm very excited about it. So these 3 caps for you guys who are watching, if you want to win these caps, just pay attention to this live session, and we will ask you questions throughout this video, and we will give them away. Eugene, don't you want to show us those caps again?
Here we go. We're gonna give away one of each of our caps. So we've got your flat snapback, round peak, and the trucker one. The one
Very,
that's
very cool. Very, very, very cool. So you guys said you make some content, hey? You've got a YouTube channel.
Yep,
Yeah, correct.
channel, and we like to post our adventures on there and capture those moments,
Okay, and how many subscribers do you have? Just being subtle about it.
Yeah, look, being subtle about it, we're standing on like 1,300 or something. We could do with some more.
Yeah.
But we're
So
around.
guys, if you're watching, make sure to
136.
follow and subscribe to the Karpioene page. They've got some fantastic videos. I've watched them. Eugene, you do most of the filming and the editing, eh? Am I right?
Yes, yeah. Well, Sean's recently gotten into it, and he's actually not that bad. It's quite a good. He's getting better with the camera and doing the editing, but yeah, most of the stuff is produced by myself, and I've also got some friends in the filming industry that help out every now and then.
It's very, very cool. Yeah, I have seen one or two of those videos. Am I right that the Morocco trip was all filmed by you, Sean?
Yeah, so that was my first, obviously, but I've done a couple now in the lockdown of previous sessions. I did my take on the Italian jaw, just specifically because I filmed a lot at my own swim, obviously. And then I did one for Barry and Noble, and I've actually got two others that are still coming out now, which I'm actually excited about. I think that was definitely my best work. So it's getting there slowly, yeah.
Lekker. And so your guys' channel, the Karpioene channel, is what? Carp SA, hey? That's how you find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, make sure to go to Carp SA on YouTube and subscribe to them. I don't know if I've put a link in the description, but I will put a link in the description for you guys to check out later to make sure you go check out their awesome videos. Speaking of awesome videos, let's talk this Italian trip that you guys went and did. You guys went all the way to Italy to fish for carp.
Oh, yeah, dude. I promise you, like, it's always been a dream, I started going overseas about 4 years ago with the Carp Masters team and filming them and trying to just seeing what the fishing's like and what the experience in Europe is like. And I said I've always been telling my friends, listen, guys, I'm going to organize a trip and we're going to go overseas and we're going to catch these monsters because it's not that difficult. And if we plan and book, 2 years in advance, it's definitely possible. And that's what happened, bro. We booked it in 2017, a spot at Parker Del Brenta.
You got to book early there.
Yeah, dude. Literally, if you want to book there, you're gonna wait 2 years to get in. So we booked in. Yeah, we booked in 2017. We got a group of guys together that were keen and committed, and we headed out last year, bro. 13 of us on an airplane to Italy, and bro, we broke so many PBs. It's not even funny.
And we had a big jaw.
A big jaw.
But
so
the
bringing some of the Italy snapshots I've done of your trip on now. So you said you had a big jaw. Like, did you guys just have the best time?
Yeah, no, listen, well, just from my side, what an awesome experience. Good bunch of mates. We met a couple of other guys from, all over Europe at the venue, 3 to be exact. And we got to know them better. I know a few of us had met them already, Dave, Marco, and Toby. Yeah, so that was very cool. And obviously we did a bit of sightseeing afterwards, had a nice, good time there in Venice. And obviously I think every single one of us broke our PBs, whether it was a common or a mirror. And I think they were all in excess of 20 kilos. So, there's some good fish in there, and we didn't even, we were like at least 6 kilos below the actual record in the lake, which is currently at 39.5. I think it's just under 40 kilos.
39.5 kilos, not pounds.
Yeah.
Kilos, yeah.
Ew. Why do you think these fish are so massive?
Dude, it's actually the strain of fish. Even if you speak to your UK anglers and your fishery managers and stuff, they all talk about an Italian strain, carp, and that strain is a special strain of carp that's bred there. And Antonio, the guy from Parker, he takes such good care of those fish. I mean,
Very strict.
you literally, if whether you like it or not, you're getting a bag of 25 kilo pellets to feed.
Protein, fish meal.
Whether you want to fish it or not, that's what you get. So he's basically giving everyone the pellets to feed his fish, and they just grow, bro.
Those are used day in, day out, 360 days a year, 365, and they've got so much protein in them. And also, am I right in saying the fish don't spawn? As far as we know, they don't spawn.
They don't spawn.
Well, that's what we think as well, and that also obviously helps with picking up the weight.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the spawn.
We're not 100% sure, but I mean, if you look at the structure in the lake, I think there's so many fish as well, and I don't think they'd all have space to spawn properly. I don't know. That's my thinking.
Interesting. So, tell us about it. So you guys left South Africa. Did you need like certain documents? Did you need fishing licenses and stuff like that before you left?
Yeah. So what happens is you obviously need your visa. That's the main thing. You don't need a fishing license because you basically fishing on a private property.
Okay.
And they do give you they have their licenses for guys like us that come in from outside, that fly in to fish. So
they provide it for you.
Yeah, so I think the only admin really that happens is your visas, your plane tickets, and that type of admin. But the rest is taken care of when you're that side.
In tackle, reels, all that sort of stuff, you've obviously got to bring alarms.
Okay.
Your rods are supplied, very nice rods. What are they, Century?
They are Anglo Spirits. What's it?
Free Spirit.
Oh,
yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
And just they come and pick you up at the airport, friendly. We tossed our bags. We were in about 3 different vans, went off to the shops. First thing, bought all our snacks and booze and whatever we wanted for the week. And then it was straight on fishing, and they've got supplies of. Do you want some extra booze there? Obviously, your meals are included. I think it was just breakfast.
Yeah, so you're getting like a brunch,
and a dinner. Your sort of lunch you sort out. So we did sandwiches and little, what are those things? The rich monkey top toasties and all that sort of stuff.
I remember seeing that there was someone who looked like they had very, very delicious bacon and eggs there.
Yeah, that was.
I wasn't even hungry before I saw it, and then when I saw it, I was like, "Yo, someone's doing it properly."
That was a great morning, eh? That was a great morning. Sure.
And
So,
the meal,
Just to put it out there, this trip I missed out, so that's why I'm not commenting a lot. But Eugene, you said you wanted to plan one in 2021, eh?
Yeah, so I've got another trip planned for 2021, eh? And there is some spaces available, but we've already booked out that spot, so we're going back next year. So let's just cross fingers and hope that all the flights and everything get back to normal. But
lockdown is fine. Hey.
Yeah, we definitely need to go back and fish there again.
So guys, if you want to join this trip, just get hold of Eugene, and you guys book out the whole place, eh?
Yes, so we book lake exclusive, and so that means the whole lake is ours, and there's 22 swims on the dam. And when we get there, we kind of draw swims and see who wants to sit where and make sure that everyone's accommodated. But we also make sure that if anyone struggles in the week, not catching, then we can rotate a little bit and swap spots and make sure that everyone gets a chance to catch one of those big monsters.
And then I saw you guys I should have actually brought a thing to bring it up. You were talking about the pellets. It looked like a Mursa Mili bomb, that thing that was going out there. Is that the tactic that you guys use there, or that works best? Is that pack bait with your carp your specimen rig underneath it?
Well, what it was called, I made friends with the one local there, and they call it a bombetta. It's called a bombetta.
It's basically Italian for bomb.
So, I mean, you're talking like a solid PVA bag like this big with one single fake maize, your inline lead or drop-off lead all in the bag. And, obviously lick the corners, make it nice and round, and that thing flies, eh? And that's all it was. And obviously your spomming. I mean, the spomming attracted them. I had 2 runs while spomming. They just hear that
dinner bell.
I'm hitting the water, and sure enough, I mean, I had to quickly reel that in and then strike into the run.
So what Keaton was talking about is the bomb that you saw in the video. That's the other method. So Sean's talking about the PVA bags, solid bags, very great. It's like proper, but those pellets, as soon as you make them wet, bro, they're just so sticky. So we just gooi Mili bomb style, but with the short little hook link. Vrystaat! And then
I love how it's so close to papgooi, but then you catch fish that are over 20 kilos.
Yeah,
exactly, dude.
Oh man, what a trip! That I was just so jealous. And you guys caught on the first night, hey? Both of you.
We did. Yeah.
Was that a massive relief? That it was we didn't waste our money. Thank God we caught something.
Sean actually was the first duck to get a run. And I heard his alarm scream, bro. So I was right next to him on the swim next to him.
And it was a Mursa
catfish. And bro, this pulls out a catfish that looked like a demon, bro. Like a water demon. Okay.
A Wells catfish.
No, it's a blue. Yeah, blue catfish.
Blue catfish. Is that the same as the American blue catfish?
I don't know, but it's very ugly.
Different.
Google blue catfish Europe, and you're gonna see. Yes, dude, I got a script for that thing. It's not our normal barbel, though.
Yeah, and then we managed to get into a mirror each later on that evening.
Oh, that must have been so epic going your first run. Yes, I've got a run. And then you see that monster looking ass, that like this thing coming up.
And a lot of the guys also caught sturgeon.
That's a dream fish for me. I could go there and catch sturgeon and that's it. And then I'd be happy because I've never been able to catch one.
And there's apparently some monster sturgeon in there.
Dude, let me quickly tell you about sturgeon. The skin on that sturgeon, you touch, if you hold it, promise you, when you let the fish go, it's like you've got cuts on your hand from just the skin. It's got a crazy weird skin. It's unbelievable. It's like super skierpapier.
If I'm right, I know that they used to use shark skin as sandpaper, but I don't know if they used sturgeon skin as sandpaper as well, because apparently they're just like armored trucks. They're just another kind of prehistoric animal.
Yeah. It hurts your
Eugene,
fish.
Eugene, what's the size that they had of sturgeon in that dam? What's like the record there?
No, they've got big ones there, bro. The beluga caviar comes from that region in Italy, bro. So that's where beluga caviar comes from. So those sturgeons that are in there are literally being farmed just other side of the road, being farmed for caviar. But they go up to, 30, 40 kilos.
Those old sturgeon, they've become quite endangered, if I'm not right. It might not be in Italy so much, but I know in the world in general, Canada, sturgeon have just become very endangered because they've got that massive thing of these big black eggs, which people are just, they pay so much more. I think, if I'm right, it's like worth as much as gold per kilo or something astronomically expensive for something you put on a salty crack and,
Exactly. Yeah. It's crazy.
Did you guys both catch a sturgeon, or did you just see someone catch it?
No, we just saw it.
The other guys, yeah.
Next trip, it's happening.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's so exciting. So exciting. Okay, so from if you want to see the Italy video, what is it called? Italian job on your Carp SA fishing. Okay, Italian job. Go see that on the Carp SA YouTube page. And then from Italy, we go home to your Ebenezer trip. Hey, Alex?
Correct. Yes.
So what was that called? What was that video called?
It was December-Nezer Dreams.
December-Nezer.
Yeah, that's it.
Tell us about that trip.
It was an interesting trip. It was unplanned. So Eugene and myself were actually going to fish a dam close to it. It's about 3 hours drive. And so we literally, he phoned me up. He's like, Alex, let's go on an adventure. I said, yeah, let's fish this mountain venue that we've got. I've never fished it. He has. So we packed the trailer. On our way there, we found out that, we can't get to the side that we want to fish. We can't get access to the property. So we end up going to the resort side. We checked, there's hardly any space to fish. So Eugene's like, I know of another dam below this dam. We can go check it out, see if it's fishable. So off we go to this bottom dam. We flip the trailer on the way on a dirt road.
Hey, how fast were you driving?
No, slow. Hit the ditch.
Oh, no. Yeah. And those leaf springs. Whoopee! How did you get it back up?
Eugene's like, you know what? Oh, we manpower.
When in doubt, push hard.
Show them your muscles, Alex. Show them your muscle.
Big man.
Anyway, from there, Eugene's like, let's go to Ebenezer because it's been on my bucket list for a long time. I've always wanted to fish it. Sean has fished it previously in the past. So Eugene and I are like, okay, let's go. He's never been there. So off we go. And when we got there, water level was extremely low. We also it was hard to find a place to fish. But we ran into some other anglers there. Eugene can tell you about that. And they were kind enough to actually let us join them.
Oh, nice.
The only 2 anglers on that dam, and they come from Pretoria, bro. They're friends of ours from Pretoria. So
what?
Just pulled in next to them, and they even put us onto the spots, Jordan McWilliams and Tommy.
Yeah, Jordan's a hell of a fisherman.
You dude, a legend.
Yeah. He might be relatively young, but do not estimate that guy's ability.
Yeah.
He can catch
fish. He knows what he's doing.
So the dam was really, really shallow, really empty. Was it okay sleeping on a slope, or?
Well, it was a complication because every time we got a run, you had to run towards the water, obviously, and you like most of the time you slip because of all the mud and everything. So it wasn't ideal, but you know what? It was worth it for those mirrors that we caught because we caught some stunners and a lot of fish over 10 kgs. Yeah.
So for those who want to see this, that is what Ebenezer looks like on the screen right now. It was how many meters was it under the high water mark? It's like 10 meters or something crazy.
But I promise you that if you look, if you go to that other image you just had there, from the road down to where we were camping, it looked like literally like a mountain you had to climb to get to the road.
You can see at the background of Alex right now.
So steep, and there was a few buckies. Alex had to pull one out. A guy wanted to launch his boat there on that slope, and Alex had to bail him out with his Jeep.
When you go. That's when you make them sign your tow rope.
The surprising thing about that dam, even though it was so low, I think the deepest point when we went over it with a fish finder, Eugene, it was about 9 meters still, or 12 meters actually.
12 meters, yeah. Still
12 meters with it being that low. There's a 12-meter drop in the middle, in the riverbed.
That's deep. So when it's full, it's about 22 meters, something like that.
Well, yeah, easily.
That's a lot of water.
I went about 4 or 5 years ago. I did did a little solo mission, and sure enough, Jordan was there, Jordan and Tace, and I just sort of met them, and they were sit on the one spot, and I said, the space wasn't that much, so I decided, let me bugger off a bit further on, and I ended up landing 5 fish that trip, the biggest being 30 pounds, and awesome. I mean, But then it was literally, I'd say, almost full at the time. So,
The spot Sean was fishing, the
20
spot Sean
meters.
was fishing is actually where we fished. Same area on that bend.
Just
We were
way
just
down.
down there.
Way down. Yeah.
But can I
He had
keep
to
it?
take
Can
his
I,
lines a little bit further.
bro, can I just mention one thing, bro? It was Sean's first session to Ebenezer now gave me a whole new respect for this act, bro. He went there on his own with his trailer, with his whole setup, solo, bro, solo for 5 days. Not one person with him. 5 days on his own, and caught. Bro, he went to a place where all of us wanted to go. I've been wanting to go for years. He just decided, you know what, I'm just going to go on my own, bro. He slapped it 5 days on his own, and he flipping came back with amazing fish. And I think that article is also published in the Carp Angler, and he made the cover with
It's
that.
a cover page. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously,
Isn't that nice? Hey?
Yeah, Taste and Jordan helped a lot with photos. You know, I called them up every odd day and said, you know, I've got 1 or 2 in the sack. Can you come and help me? So that helped a lot, and thankful to them. So yeah, but definitely need to head back there.
And that venue, is it safe? Is it?
Yeah, it's safe. I mean, we were there we're only there for the weekends, but the other guys were there for almost 2 weeks, and they said they've never had incidents there.
Lekker. That sounds like an adventure. I'm definitely going to write that down on list to go. And Sean's session just says, if you want to go, don't wait for people to let you go. Clap some self-isolation, 5 days, and have an epic adventure by yourself. I remember Brandon Main did a session at Laurentia. I think he went for quite a few days, and he said it was one of the best sessions he ever did, because it's you, it's the fish, and it's nature at its best. And hopefully,
and a lot of the
just down
times
the
as
drain.
well, if you go by yourself, Sean maybe can tell you, you actually fish sometimes a lot harder because you focus then on what you're there for, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that helps a lot.
We've lost Sean and Eugene.
I see.
They've gone black, unfortunately. But yeah, so in those, Ebenezer's got some quite special fish. While Sean and Eugene reconnect, Ebenezer's got some quite unique fish. You guys caught some. I'm going to run these things again. You guys caught some spectacular looking mirrors.
Yeah, stunning mirrors, and then also it has got its odd common, which is quite rare. And one common came out that weekend, and it wasn't a small common as well. It was fairly big. But the mirrors, they are unique. You can, identify them to that venue. And there's some big ones swimming around there as well.
Yeah, it's quite a unique color that they've got. Like, it's like a dark gold, rich gold color, and from a picture right now, they don't seem to have many scales on them either.
Yeah, there's not. Eugene caught one on the last day. He caught one that was quite veiny in color. It was reddish almost.
Yeah, it's going to show up now. If everyone wants to look, it's going to show up on the video. I think it's after this slide, where that, like you said, it was super, super red.
Yeah.
Why do you think it was that red? Was it like, did
So,
it have a skin infection, or like here it is
It
right
varies.
now? Yeah?
What I've heard, I could be wrong, so I stand corrected. It could
Yeah.
be that the fish is sometimes stressed a lot of the time, or that it was in certain areas of depth of water. But
Okay.
other than that, I'm not actually too sure what was the cause.
Okay, so I've just heard from Sean and Eugene, their power cut. Welcome to South Africa. Okay, so I'm not sure whether they are going to come back or not. Hopefully they do come back. It would be great if they did. We've got some lacquer things to talk about with them soon. If they come back, if they don't come back, then we've still got Alex, this epic angler, right over here.
Thanks.
So,
Man.
Alex, with your session there, this was also in the Carp Angler magazine as well, hey?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And with your tactics, I'm seeing rigs with just plain tiger nuts on it. What tactics did you use to target this amazing venue?
Okay, so what I did is those rigs you've seen there also, it's some of Jordan's rigs and so on. What I did that worked for me was a plain tiger.
Hello, can you guys hear?
Maze. You're back, Sean.
Making a plan, Sean. Alex will come back to you. I'm sorry, but this is too good.
We're making a plan.
Yeah, we're back, boys.
Ach, you clowns.
Welcome
Love
back.
it. I love the commitment. You absolute legends.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that.
So we're back. So Alex was just telling us about his tactics and the rigs and stuff. So as you were, Mr. Alex, after these nanas have come back flying.
So I used a critically like balanced tiger with a fake maze, and
Okay.
I did use some flavors. It was sweet corn that did the trick mostly for me. Cross margins, fishing in about 3 meters of water depth, just on the ledge.
Okay.
And we fed very little, tiger nuts and hemp. That's it. Because the first run I got there, actually, I fed a bit of corn and I picked up a barbel. So as soon as we took that out, we started nailing the mirrors on that.
I wonder why barbel love corn and not tigers and hemp seed. Like, they're both quite starchy things. Like it doesn't make that much sense to me. Do you guys know why they prefer corn, like mealies, rather than, and they avoid tiger nuts?
Well, in my opinion, what I've noticed with maize, if you cook it, it goes off a lot quicker than a tiger nut would. So it goes sour. And the barbel for me are drawn to that sour smell a lot quicker than if you'd say you prepare a batch of tigers.
Yeah. Like I know barbel love rotting stuff. Like at one of my friend's properties there was a dead otter and this thing was floating and it was gross, and apparently it looked like this otter was alive even though it was swollen and gross, and it was because of the barbel trying to eat this fraught dead otter. I don't know, it's amazing how barbel can eat so much, but if you want to avoid them, tiger nuts and hemp seed again and again and again.
Yeah, we've actually had the same thing, Eugene and I, at Klasiri as well. Fishing Klasiri, just tigers and hemp.
Let's go switch over the signal quick. We'll be there now.
Okay, no problem. And yeah, so you're saying it worked in other venues as well?
Yeah, that's our trick. Keep a bobble off your feet.
Epic. So Alex, you've got quite a passion to find unexplored areas and unexplored dams. Why? What makes you love it so much?
So Eugene and I, the way we fish together, we like to be adventure anglers. We call ourselves that. Where we go on satellite imagery and we literally look for any piece of water that we could find. And we actually drive out there not knowing what to expect, who the owners are. You know, literally we just walk in, obviously with permission. We try to get permission first. And what we love about it is the unknown. You know, a lot of the times we found a venue where we've caught some monster mirrors in, you know. A lot of barbel, it's difficult. You go through a lot of barbel before you get these fish, but then it's worth it in the end, you know. And that's what we love, is the adventure and finding these new places that, you know, no other angler has fished basically in South Africa.
Yeah, it must be quite amazing to get somewhere and go, what's in here? I don't know. Is there carp? And the owner goes, yeah, there's carp and there's marlin and they've got no bloody idea what's in that thing, and you've got to find it out. Have you guys had a couple of occurrences when you've gone to a place and you've caught no carp at all, like and said there's no carp here and there will never be?
Yes.
Well, before we do it, we do get that as well, but we'll fish a venue for quite a while before we move on. You know, we give it our best.
Okay.
I found a venue the other day. It's like one of the most beautiful dams I've ever seen in my life, honestly. Beautiful. It's inside a forest, and when I got there, I thought, you know, this is like dream stuff. If I can catch a carp in here, like my life would be made. And bro, that night I started rowing out lines and stuff, bro, and the dam was completely filled with billions of frogs, billions. Like so many frogs that when I row in the water, I hit a few frogs with the thing. Like every stroke I do, hit frogs. It's just frogs. And then it later, I realized there's zero oxygen in that water. Zero, no oxygen whatsoever.
It's quite a good indicator. Like I've got a dam just across from where I stay, and I went there to go look if there's anything there because I'm a fisherman. I'm going to find out. And it was a paradam. You sit there and you see these little things come up, and if you watch a bit harder, it's these little frogs, little platanas, little things, and fish will never live in there because there's no water that comes in. There's no oxygen. There's no anything. Well, especially this one, it's a bit polluted as well. But it's also quite amazing that I've found the carp are actually quite hardy animals. Like I've seen carp in the Liesbeek River, where it's probably the most disgusting river I've ever seen. Like people poo in it, and there's cholera in it. There's all kinds of disgusting things in it. And these carp look perfectly healthy. These 8 kilo, 10 kilo carp swimming past like nothing's wrong. I don't know how they do it. How do they breathe in that water?
No, look, that's how carp survived, bro. They're not even supposed to be in Africa. They were brought from Europe. So, and now, I mean, there's no piece of water that you cannot find a carp.
They were brought from Europe, but they're originally from Japan, hey?
Probably, but I think the English brought them, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm sure they come from Japan originally,
Okay, because I caught a couple of carp in Japan. I was like, Japan, I caught the originals. But I need to do some research to actually find if they are actually from Japan. Like, if you're like, I caught originals, and they're like, sorry, but they're from Czechoslovakia. So, guys, speaking of Ebenezer and how that awesome wild venue is, someone went to Morocco. Mr. Sean?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, so basically, I actually started researching it and checking out online, and just the wild nature of the venue and the fact that you below the Atlas Mountains there, and that crystal clear blue water, it was awesome. And I knew that you're sitting on the side of a lake in the middle of nowhere, and it's just you and this awesome body of water and the unknown as well. I mean, the current lake record there for a wild carp, it's a fully scaled mirror, is 33.5 kilos.
33.5 kilos, not pounds, kilos.
Wild. Yeah. Wild. So wild carp. So they are there. And Neil de Villiers, is it de Villiers? No. Neil Pretorius, sorry. Yeah, Neil Pretorius, he went about a year before me, and he did flipping well. He ended up getting, I think, 2 over 20 kilos. I think it was a common and a mirror, if I've got my facts correct. But regardless, that spurred me on even more. And I chatted to him a bit and, got some info from him. And I decided to head out alone again. I went on a solo mission there. And I ended up meeting up with Simon. He's from the UK, and he had met a few of the South African anglers the previous year when you guys were in France.
Yeah, I met Simon in Lac du Dour in France when we filmed he was part of the media team for the Carp Masters. That's where I know Simon from. And Simon knew that Sean was one of my friends.
Well, he said, "No, this guy looks like a South African." And he said, "Do you know this guy and this?" And I said, "Yeah, I know all of them." And anyway, we got chatting that first night because you fly in, they pick you up, and then the first night you spend in the hotel. And then the next morning you meet with the guides and they tell you, okay, this spot has been producing. Do you want to sit on an island? Where do you want to be? And, they give you a bit of a talk on what's been happening. And we that evening decided, why don't we just fish together? And we went off to the one island.
So you're on an island?
Yeah, an island in the lake.
Yo, that's even in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and we had a dog that had puppies on the island with us. She eats the crickets on the island.
That's how she's not a pet. She's a wild
That's her protein.
domestic dog.
Like 100%.
What?
We obviously fed her a bit and that, but yeah, and they swim from island to island. We thought we were seeing a bloody otter the one day, and I said, what's that swimming there? Yeah, and then here comes this dog running up, and they're all wild, but they're all friendly, and a lot of the UK guys have actually adopted some of those dogs. They've got them through all the tests and the vaccinations and all of that, and actually taken them back.
Yeah.
So
that's quite a story with your dog. It's like, oh, look at your bruck. That is not a bruck. That is a Moroccan otter dog. This thing swam across the 10 k's of water to see me. Not a bruck.
Yeah, the lake is, I can't remember now exactly, but it's, I think, in the region of 20 to 28 k's long.
Sure.
I'm stand to be corrected. But so we spent 3 days there, and we caught a couple, and it just went dead. And luckily, you get the option to move swims.
Yeah.
So you got to let them know the night before and make sure your stuff's packed up that next morning when they come deliver your food, and pack everything. And then we decided, no, we're going to head to a spot just right of Hotel Bay. So it's in front of the hotel, just to the right, in front of the one estate there. And yeah, Simon only spent, I think, another night or two there with me. Then his trip was done. So I had 3 nights solo, which was awesome for me. And I started cooking. That was when I started really getting into them. I was fishing.
You had to cook. You were by yourself.
I fed a homeless man there as well. So that was pretty cool. And I ended up fishing in 15 meters of water. So I think if we look at, I don't think we'd ever fished that deep here in South Africa.
I haven't done that yet.
And honestly, I fed the middle spot with a lot of the maize on the marker, and then I fished my boilies double 24 mils on the right, 2 rods either, or 1 rod either side, and then I scattered the others. And honestly, you just knew when it was a decent fish. That thing was a 1 ton of note, and I think had I had a couple more days there, I would have gotten into the fish house after, but I'll definitely be back. And I got a couple of 30-pounders, and the experience was awesome. They've actually made me the booking agent for guys that want to go from South Africa. So if anyone is keen, I know Neville and I chatted the other day, and I saw on his thing he was pretty keen to head out there. But so you'll see a couple of the photos there on the that I was going to go through there. But
I'll bring them up again. But Sean, tell us, while we're checking out these epic photos, like of this lovely common right here, how do the guys get hold of you to go on one of these Moroccan trips?
Well, they can get hold of me on Instagram at Sean O'Tucker. My number's 084 556 8918.
Just repeat that one more time for the guys that don't have their pen and paper ready, nice and slow.
They can go onto the Facebook page as well. They can just send us a message on Facebook. Sean's there all the time.
084 556 8918, and we can chat about planning your next trip. And obviously, there is a Morocco Carp SA page. They can even message our Karpioene page, whatever. We'll make contact with them, and hopefully get you into some of those awesome fish there.
So these massive wild fish. Okay, so I want to ask you why they're so big, but then before I forget, you've got quite interesting bobbins on your rods. Do they have a story behind them, or did you make them? Why have you got such cool looking bobbins?
I decided to make some of my own. Actually, with a friend of mine, he's actually immigrated to New Zealand, or is it Australia? Anyway, him and I made a couple the one day, those emoji ones of mine. And from there, it just sort of spurred a little interest in me to make some on the side. And I've ended up selling a couple. I can't guarantee that they're the best quality, but they're pretty cool to look at, and it's it's something unique. I've sold quite a few of the emoji ones, the dice, and then I made those little Africa mask ones, especially for this trip, for that trip. And I've still got them. They still grafting, and I use them from time to time.
Nice little piece of home when you all the way in Morocco trying to catch these dinosaurs.
Yeah, especially with the lake like that, you start doubting. If you hit a blank for a couple of days, you start worrying. Shit, have I wasted my money, or is it going to pay off? And you've just got to keep grafting. Try and find the fish.
I think that's what people need to remember. Even if you go to the other side of the world and you've paid R1 million, whatever it is, you're still fishing. It's still fishing. You can pay as much as you like. There's no guarantee you're going to catch a fish. Yes, you can pay for the best venue where it's high stocks and there's big fish there. But if you're not going to catch them, that's just what's going to happen. And I think it's quite scary when you invest in going those airplane tickets, these visas, all this stuff, and you get there, and the fact is you might blank. But you should go there for the experience.
Exactly.
Then you got what you paid for, and then the fish are bonus.
That's it. You can't go with the mindset of, I had a few guys that said, yes, but you didn't get anything over 18 or 20 kilos. And yes, I didn't. Obviously that was my goal, but I can't say that the lake must give me a 40-pounder.
Or I'm going to throw rocks in it.
So, it's a gamble, and you've got to work with what you've got. And if something's not working, change it, and then just stick to basics. Don't overthink it.
I also want to say one thing on that point. I've gone overseas with loads of anglers, some of the best anglers, specimen anglers that we have, to competitions. And as a South African, and I know the way we fish at home, and I know the way that Europeans fish in their local waters. And if we from South Africa go to Europe or any other place, if we fish the way we fish at home, we will definitely stand a better chance of catching. Because whether most of us don't realize it. I've seen it with my own eyes. South African anglers fish very hard. They fish wild waters, and they look for certain things. Obviously, we learn our specimen skills on YouTube and whatnot, but there's a different spirit that a South African angler has, dude. When he crosses a border to go fish, bro, honestly, I've seen this firsthand. And cross the border, you fish hard, bro, and chances are you're gonna outfish whoever's next to you.
And we are used to wild waters. A lot of your overseas guys, yes, they do have big wild waters. We look at Morocco and Orlando, but a lot of them fish syndicate waters and ponds, stocked
it's
lake.
A different story.
So don't doubt yourself.
Yeah, I guess we take that for granted that we've got so many wild waters. Like, I know Durandrai and Tsenin aren't doing great now, but we used to have Durandrai, Tsenin, Borsco, Potch. We've got Ebenezer. We've got hundreds of these amazing
Keaton, as well. Coming back to the finding new waters, Let me quickly just show you a fish. I'll see if I can get the magazine that Eugene and I found, and some stunning carp were in it. Let me get it quickly. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
And speaking of venues and stuff, he's back. We'll get
back,
to that now.
So
don't worry.
That one. That was in a wild water that Eugene and I found. Unfished venue.
Sure.
So if you put in the effort, these fish are there.
Speaking of venues and finding amazing fish, you've got CarpSA.co.za, guys. You've got that.
Yes.
Now, what is that, and why do I mention that in terms of venues?
Yeah, so we started that website as a resource for anglers, specifically specimen angling. Obviously, we want to educate other anglers as well, conventional guys and stuff, but we wanted a resource for the specimen guys where they can find some info on venues, find some info on tactics, and also have a little bit of a content platform where we can showcase, the videos and the stuff that we create. So,
Have we lost them again?
I think so.
Oh, anyways, the CarpSA.co.za has got a nice list of articles that Eugene and other guys have. There he is. Eugene and other guys have written about new venues and all sorts of great venues. So if you guys want to find new venues, which is a huge question for everyone, and everyone always asks, oh, what venue is this? What venue is that? Go to CarpSA.co.za and you will find all of the best places to fish in South Africa. Wink, wink, caps, hashtag just saying. Should we give away a cap now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Give one away.
Is everyone ready on the live feed? If you're ready on the live feed, get your fingers ready. So the first question with this awesome cap, this awesome Karpioene cap, the flat cap. Very cool flat cap. Are you ready with your fingers? I want to see who's first here on the side. How many subscribers does the Karpioene or Carp SA YouTube page have? How many subscribers do they have? We did announce it earlier. How many subscribers do the guys at Karpioene or Carp SA on YouTube have? How many subscribers? Let us know. There we go. We've got our first answer. We have got Connor Smith. Well done, Connor Smith. Very proud of you. If you are a South African citizen, please pop us your email address right now.
Yeah, we'll make contact with you.
The page might have 1,360 right now, Mr. Eugene. It might have 1,360, but we did say 1,300, which means Connor was listening. So Connor, you have won our first cap. Make sure to get hold of me on Facebook, or Karpioene guys on Facebook. Get hold of one of us so that we can get hold of you to give you your lovely cap. And should we give away a second one? For those guys that gave, for all you guys that gave the correct answer, as well as the 1,360, you sharp, brilliant people who have seen the things. So this is the trucker cap. The trucker cap. Okay.
Look, the guys can also decide. I mean, we've got a bit of stock here. If they want one specific, we'll make a plan.
If you're not the flat cap type, we can organize something else, whatever fits you. But
so, Connor, did you hear that? You can pick your cap. Very, very, very giving. Get in. Karpioene. Get in, but. Okay. Next question. Is everyone ready? Here we go. What website can you buy the best South African carp clothing? What is the website where you can buy the best carp clothing? And the winner is, waiting for the lag for YouTube to come across. Let's see. We're waiting for it. There you go. We've got, Frandre, you got the answer wrong. It's not .co.za. Yay! It was so close. You were so fast.
It's a tricky one because there's two.
It's a tricky one.
Because you have to go there and check it out, then you'll find it.
But is it .co.za or is it the other one?
It's .com, guys.
Yeah, we're waiting. We haven't got it.
.com.
Guys, we've just given you the answer. Whoever writes it in and I see it first, you won a cap. Someone just wrote 1,360.
Almost.
Guys, come on. One more answer. We just need the right answer and we can give you guys a cap on my loud chair. Unless my feed is just lagging. Might be. We'll let it run for 2 seconds and then we'll give away that cap.
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's talk about stuff.
Let's talk about stuff. Okay, guys, I was asked one question for you, Oaks. What boilies do you use and what's your favorite flavors and why? Alex, you start us off there, but.
Okay, so when it comes to boilie fishing, I'm always fishing a fish meal based boilie. I enjoy a fish meal based boilie. And something, it depends of the season, obviously. Winter time, I'm going for maybe like a monster crab flavor. It's a little bit more potent. I feel it gets a fish feeding in winter. And in summer, I'll do something more fruity.
Okay, and what brand do you favor at the moment?
So I was not. It's just because I'm fishing for the brand, but I use their baits for a while. It's Augie Baits that gets sold at S&Z Tackle from Andre and them. He's got a wide variety of baits, boilies, whatever you need. Yeah.
Oh, good quality baits, bro.
S&Z Tackle, guys. If you guys want to check it out, snztackle.co.za is one of the best places to get specimen carp tackle. It is a fantastic place run by a fantastic man, Shiraz Ismail. He will sort you guys out. He actually cares about the people who come through his doors. He really, really will help you with your fishing and tell you what to buy, what not to waste your money on, and he's fantastic. So get those baits if you want to follow Alex's example. Get those baits from snztackle.co.za. And now, Sean, what is your favorite bait at the moment, your boilian flavor?
Well, I used to fish a lot with Mark from Psycho Baits' boilies. I really liked his original boilie. My Rig Flay PB actually comes out on that boilie. And I've caught a number of good fish out of Rotoplot as well on that. But yeah, I was fortunate enough to get a sponsorship from overseas, from Carp Max. They're from Hungary. And I've caught on their stuff all over the place. So I can't really explain the flavors. You know, their names are like CH1 and CH2. So, but you got to smell them.
Just for fun, explain it to us. What does it smell like?
Okay, well, the one I particularly like, and I've caught at Carp Haven, I've caught at Rig Flay. I'll try and, I don't have a photo of it now, but I could find one, yeah. But basically, it's a 18 mil boilie, 18 or 20 mil, and I put a red dumbbell pop-up on it.
What color is that? Is that the orange one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a cool. It's a dark boilie. It's a fish meal based boilie, but it's got sweet in it. And then so those have worked very well for me all over the place. And then a very fruity, almost sherbety type red boilie. Elton, a friend of mine, he's actually used them at a couple of venues now, and he flipping swears by it. He messaged me and he says, Sean, I can't believe I got a gain on this. So, yeah, I think, but, you know, from my opinion, it boils down to confidence. If you believe that S&Z or Augie Baits is going to work for you, it'll work for you. And Nash or whatever the case is, go for it. I mean, And
where do we get your, sorry to interrupt, where do we get your favorite type of bait from?
Well, you're going to have to import it. It's not stocked locally. A few guys have asked me. I'll see. It's a bit tricky, but I can always try and make a plan to import with my next import for the guys. You'll see this stuff on my Facebook or my Instagram page, and I'll try and pop a few photos on now. But over to Eugene.
Okay. Before we get to Eugene. Sorry.
Guys,
we still haven't got an answer for the second cap. If you guys want the next cap winning, tell us where you get the best carp branded carp clothing in South Africa. Online. What is that website? What is the website? Karpioene.com. What is that website? Just type in that answer. The first one to type in that answer gets a lovely cap. Now, with that said, Eugene, tell us your favorite bait and your flavor at the moment.
Okay, cool. Well, when it comes to boilies, yes, it's like Sean said, you know, you got to fish something that you're really confident in. I also had loads of confidence in the Psycho original back in the day. It was, you know, those boilies, when you smell it, you can even feel you're going to catch something now. Those rods are going to run. Lately, I've had that type of sensation with Nash's, you know, Scopex squid. I always see them raving about it online and on the videos, and started fishing with it probably 2 years ago. when I first went to Holland, I started fishing with them. And
Yeah.
if you combine that boilie, I combine that boilie with the syrup that you get. You get the little tub of syrup. So you just put a dollop of syrup and you mix those boilies and coat them with that oil. Man, really, I got
just
so
amazing.
much confidence in that boilie. So that's my favorite at the moment, definitely.
Okay. I'm just checking these. It doesn't look like all these comments are coming through, guys, which is a bit poo.
Couple
Oh,
of them.
there's those. Those boilies are quite, the flavor, like the color is quite rich, eh?
Orange, bro. Orange.
Yeah.
I
Orange.
smelled those. Those are really nice.
Yeah. So
And do you think
the
that
one
makes
I
a big
like
difference
is
to the
first
carp?
place. It's called First Place.
First place.
Mm.
Do you think that makes a big difference to the carp? What color the ground bait is? The free offerings.
Well, I'd say like depends. Also time of year, of spawn season or not, what color I'd go for, or for ground offerings and all of that. Don't know how Sean and them feel.
Okay.
Well,
Now, what do you guys feel? I
what
did
I've
get your test message here, so I don't know why other guys' messages aren't coming through. Capture TV. If you write the same comment later on, you might win a cap. But I'm just saying. You guys, what do you think in terms of colors?
Okay, so I don't know if you can see nicely there.
Yes, we can.
There
We
we
can
go.
see
So
the brown and then the very vibrant pop up or
that's
top
it. So
top thing.
that has been my flippin'. That's the one. Especially at Carp Haven, actually. And what I've done at Carp Haven a lot as well is fish that single boilie with that pop up just over 2 millis even. And they hammer that thing straight. So I don't think you really have to have boilies, freebies in the mix. You know, if they're hungry,
your
they
theory.
can jump.
Okay.
And one of my go-to color, sorry, Gene, that I found works a lot at any venue is white. I use a white boilie with a little yellow maize on the top. That always does the trick.
Yeah, something,
You know what?
something like
Guys,
that.
I've got a feeling. Wow, look at that. That's like that looks like chocolate. I want to eat that thing.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling that YouTube is blocking the comments because it is a .com.
Wow.
So should we ask another question for that second cap?
Yeah, where do you get those venues?
Yeah, where do you get the best venues in South Africa? Where?
Venue highlights.
Just saying, Capture TV header has already said it, so there's the answer. We'll see who says it now. Waiting for it. I might type it in myself. I love those caps.
Oh, bro, we'll send you one, eh?
Yeah, we'll sort you out.
Just for
You get one.
for having us
You
on
guys rock.
your channel, bro. We've got so much respect, and I also want to say,
Your content
you're probably the number one content creator in South Africa when it comes to fishing content. So very much respect to you, my man.
Bro, that means a lot. Thank you. I don't think so, but yeah, that means a lot, especially coming from you. I've seen your videos. They're flipping cool. I almost said a rude word. Ivan Vermaak. Just get hold of us. You just want some awesome caps or a cap. A fantastic Karpioene cap. How flippin' exciting.
Good one.
There you go. There's your options.
Yep,
Get
thank
hold of either me or Karpioene and we will get you your cap if you are a South African citizen. If you're not, hey, export duties when... Ah, wonderful. Okay, cool. And then, guys, I wanted to ask this question. Because you guys are such epic anglers that I really respect your opinion. Why do you think most of the foreign bait companies, especially now we've had this big influx of all these new baits, why do you think their boilies are a hell of a lot smaller than ours? Because most of the South African guys, it's a 20 mil bottom bait and a 16 mil pop-up, and that's the range. Overseas, they're doing 10 mil bottom baits, 15 mil, 12 mil. They've got a whole range of smaller stuff. Why do you think we only do bigger stuff? Is it because we South African, we go big or go home? Or is it because people only got one size table or what?
I don't know, bro. I think we want to try and avoid catching small carp. That's all I think. Because, if you put a tiny bait out, you're going to catch, most of the time, you're going to catch a tiny fish. Unfortunately, it's because our wild waters.
They've got a lot of big fish. A smaller bait works there very well. And I'm not saying a smaller bait doesn't work here for big fish. We know that it does. But generally, it will be picked up quicker.
We spoke of it earlier on as well. At syndicate venues, they fish a massive grouping of massive carp. So not like our waters where you have a load of little carp in it. You, like Sean and them said, you'll get picked up a lot faster on a smaller baits.
In my opinion, I think that theory is right for South Africa in a certain way. But overseas, they've got, especially in England, they've got rudd, they've got perch, they've got all sorts of things that pick up small baits. And then they still use small boilies. That's what I know. They catch a lot of them, and then you always hear them, another perch or whatever, and they moan about it. But they still use like a 10 mil pop-up on a chod rig or something. And I'm like, why is this? My brain is ticking, and I'm thinking, why are these dudes doing this? And they keep catching these small fish.
Another theory that I know of that I spoke to actually Marco about, Eugene, from Holland. He's from Nash Tackle. I actually discussed something similar with him. He said the waters there are also, I think, if the fish are pressured, so maybe a bigger boilie would stand out and they'd be suspicious of it. So a smaller boilie would be less suspicious.
That makes a lot more sense to me. Because, they've got 20 swims on a small dam that have anglers on it all week, every week. And we've got wild waters that are 1 kilometer by 5 Ks, and they get 20 anglers on a weekend, some of them. So that makes a lot of sense. Sean, you mentioned you caught some nice fish at Rudderplot. A lot of the guys have asked me before, how do you catch bigger fish at Rudderplot? What is your tactics, if you don't mind us hearing about them?
Okay, of late, it's a dam that it just calls me. I still think I'm going to get something amazing there. I just keep wanting to. I'll go today. I'll go tomorrow, like 100%. Even though I've only been catching barbel the last while. So when I go alone, I'll be open. I fish a lot of rods. I normally fish a particle pod and I fish a boilie pod because I'm testing. I want to learn. I don't know every venue to the let's say your more experienced anglers that have 30 years of knowledge
on the same venue.
So funny enough, the particle pod did nothing, absolutely nothing that weekend. The boilie ones were gunning the whole time, but it was barbel, at least good size barbel.
Yeah, I've seen when I used to row there, they used to hit into our boat and we swear we hit into a bloody hippo. Those things are massive.
And also what I found is the carp aren't dying. They just haven't been eating there for some unknown reason. We try to figure it out. There have been carp coming out again, but a lot smaller. But there's no big fish that you're seeing floating or that have died or anything. So they have to still be there. My theory about Rudderplot is just that it's such a big dam, first of all, and it's got a lot of twists and turns that we cannot access. So I think they are skittish. They know where they're safe, and they just head out and they cruise and they stay in that area. But my biggest has been, I think, 10 or 10.5 kilos, and I caught it at Noordtransvaal Gronde on the same night. And then I caught that ghost koi mirror. It was awesome. Yeah. And I just had a brilliant evening that night. I think they also, when they move in there, it's good timing. If you're there at the right time, you're going to do well.
Yeah, that dam is huge.
Emmanuel, our other mate, he's done very well there. He's caught, I think his biggest is 13 or 14 kilos, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a 30.
A couple of years ago, so I think it'll get better.
And I haven't been there since, I used to row there every weekend because I used to be one of those irritating rowers that come past and scream their heads off. But when we were there, we had to stop regattas there because of the water hyacinth. How is it? How is it since then? Because I stopped rowing when I was turning 17 or something like that, and I haven't been there since. How is the water hyacinth recently?
Well, it got a lot better, and
Okay.
now recently it came in again. And what I think what happened now, just before the lockdown, one of those cables broke, and apparently there's a ton of this stuff in that whole Marleo, Noord-Transvaal Gronde area. And obviously we had some serious storms. So it comes down in the rivers. I mean, if you go and fish now at Noord-Transvaal Gronde, there are stumps there that you cannot believe how big they are that have come down the river. That are now they're there.
Driftwood.
Yeah, massive.
Mm.
So
pull that up, dry it, and turn it into a massive table.
there we go.
Or burn it.
Or burn
Yeah,
it.
firewood.
Burn it. It's cold. It's winter.
That's it.
Yeah,
But
that
I think it's
people
getting
forget how. Is it good? People forget how much that combined weight of all of that hyacinth can be. If you're talking about 2 square kilometers of this stuff, which is all catching the wind, all pushing a little bit, that cable can take a couple of tons, but it can't take that much.
we've seen it at what's it, Ifafi.
Arties, Ifafi.
At Hartbeespoort, a
Cable
number of
snaps there a lot, yeah.
That hyacinth is awful. It's the most spectacular plant. It's brilliant. The way it spreads and just grows and grows, and our climate is just perfect for it. I don't know. Like, I'm just happy it's not my job to get rid of it.
Yeah.
They're doing a
How
good
would
job
you-
at least at Harties, it looks like.
Yeah. How do you deal with it? Would you? Because there's 2 options. Some people put their rods really high. Other people, like me, I put my rods as deep as I can to get it underneath the roots. What do you guys do to deal with that kind of floating weed?
Sean's got a Skype
Try
on.
avoid it.
That thing stands like this.
It'll stand
this.
backwards even.
Proper copy, eh?
Yeah, but to be honest, I've had a few hard lessons with that even. Even if you backlead, there's one of those with a longer little root, and that one picks it, and then it's a nightmare. You lose line, and so I'd rather take them out sometimes.
Can I quickly tell a story of hyacinth?
Tell us a story. That's why we're here, Mr. Eugene. I love these stories.
2 winters ago, I filmed a competition at Harties at Meerhof, right? And in the first day 1, clear skies, beautiful, and then those hyacinths, the wind started blowing and the hyacinths came in, bro. And these oaks, the competitors literally stood, they literally pulled out their rods, everyone for a day, probably a day and a half, that nobody fished on that bank. You couldn't even see water. You just saw the...
Oh no, AstroTurf.
But the moment that stuff resided, all that hyacinth started moving. As they move out, these rods start going. Boof, boof, boof. That day, I saw the biggest fish out of Harties that I've ever seen, bro. 17.5 kilo at Meerhof.
They move with the hyacinth.
I saw a 15.
No, they go with the hyacinth.
Yeah, bro. 15s, 17s, 14s. The fish that came out that day, just when the hyacinths left, as it left, bro, the fish that came out there was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. I've been wanting to go back there ever since, but I think the hyacinths had something to do with it.
I bet you it is, because if you look at those root systems and stuff, because we used to have to pull it out to put our boats in and stuff. If you look at those root systems, it's alive. It's alive, and if that whole
There's things there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of life there.
lots of natural food, and if the wind moves it, some of those little chokos and things drop off, and it makes sense that as it moves, these carp are following behind it, similar to, I don't know, like have you watched dolphins follow, tuna follow dolphins? They're just there behind, no matter what, they're just there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Man, guys, I must say, we've got one more cap to give away.
Yes.
What should we, before we leave this thing, what question should we ask? Because our other one was blocked by YouTube. Thanks YouTube. That's
Well,
great.
what was the biggest fish that came out of Italy's session? What was
That's a good question.
what was the biggest one? Yeah.
That's a very good one.
It
I
doesn't
don't
need
even
to
know
be
that.
exact, just the kilos.
Just the kilos. Because let me see if I can bring it on. So let's bring on the Italy.
Yeah, can we talk about that fish, please?
Yes. Okay. Let's talk
That-
about this
that-
fish
that's
while
the
the guys
bus of
look
the
at the
fish.
photos and bring up the answer.
Find the one
In
of Rian,
kilos.
yeah.
Okay, so we had two fish that went over 34 kilos. Two fish. The first one was a 34.5 that Rian caught. And then on the final night, Benny, bro, the smallest guy in the group, tiny guy, bro, caught a 34.9.
Is he the gent with the mustache?
Did he have a mask?
No, he had a full
No,
I
belly.
think we had one there.
Yeah.
This,
So how big was it?
34.9. Let's see if somebody gets it. Dude,
Peter Opperman has got it. Well done, Peter. So
like
tell us about that fish while Peter goes woohoo at home.
you know, when you're fishing Italy, especially a water like that, dude, like every alarm that goes off, you know there's potential like
This is that fish, I
it's
think.
gonna blow your mind, right?
Yeah.
And before that moment, I filmed like a few 20 kilos, 30, even a 130 kilo fish. And then Rian phones me the early morning hours as the sun rises. He phones me. He's like, Gina, ek dink jy moet gou kom, hoor.
that's it there.
Ek het 'n vis hier gevang. He says ek het 'n vis hier gevang en hy trek oor die 80 pond. I'm like, dude, you're joking me. So I ran around with that fish there.
Yeah.
Was the biggest thing I've ever seen. It literally, that Nash landing, you know, the unhooking
That
mat
big one. Yeah.
covers the whole unhooking mat, the big 1.2 meter Nash mat. It's crazy. Like, you can't believe the size of fish there in at that place, bro. So yeah, if anyone's keen to go, you got my number. WhatsApp us on or just message us on Facebook. And we want to go next year, bro. We want to go back.
Fantastic. So for the last couple of seconds, I just want to say thank you guys for so much for coming onto the podcast. I really appreciate it. You guys are such legends. Check out their page, carpsa.co.za and Carp SA on YouTube. Go follow it. Check out the Carp Angler magazines. When you see these guys, they are usually on the front page catching amazing fish. And yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming to join me on this podcast. It really means a lot, especially guys that create content, that create enjoyment, create a love for the sport that we all love, and that is carp fishing. So make sure to get hold of Sean for the Morocco trips. Make sure to get hold of Eugene for the Italian trips or Italian Joel trip. And thanks so much, guys. I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
You're one of the best content creators, and we really appreciate you, man. So yeah, anyone
Thanks
is one of the only hopes we have right now at the moment.
I think we just dropped out.
Is it? Oh.
It's offline, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I think, are we back? I think we might be back. Okay, sorry, you were saying for anglers? You were saying?
Yeah, no, just for anyone watching, make sure you're a 4Angler subscriber. It's not a lot of money, and it keeps the fishing industry going as well. Those guys, that's the Carp Angler. They own the Carp Angler, Steveliner, Uverengelaar, all those things. So 4Anglers is just the digital body for all those magazines. So we got to support them. You know, I think they're in a bit of trouble right now. So just a message out there.
Okay. With that said, make sure to check out all those cool things. Thanks so much, guys. And that is the Tipp Topp podcast. Please remember to like, share, comment, do all those cool things. And we will see you guys next time on It's Tipp Topp Fishing, Carp SA. Till then, tight lines, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.